First period. My male administrator tells me I needed to change because he's afraid if I raise my hand too high, he might just see some of my midriff, and it might cause a distraction. I used to blame girls too. Why can't they put their brain into books instead of good looks? Be more than a perfect body with a pretty hairdo. That's until I stepped out into the real world and I realized the truth about being a girl. I saw girls my age getting catcalled on the streets, getting raped and murdered on TV. I saw mothers cry out for their daughters that would sadly never come back. And that's when I realized it's not girls' fault, but society's. Misogyny is something that affects so many girls, yet is also so typically ignored. I mean, since girls are born, we're taught to act nurturing and caring. No boy will want you with a mouth like that. Please cover up. Boys can't control themselves. Everyone from our parents to school to the public, they tell us how we're supposed to dress, who we are supposed to be, how we're supposed to act. This all influences gender roles and so many more issues. Everyone has their own unique experiences with misogyny and sexism, but I think these two poems best represent my personal. This is Dress Code by Laura De Souza and The Truth About Being a Girl by Aja Mayrock. It's now second period, and I am still sitting in the office of the balding man when he asks me if I can call a parent to bring me a change of clothes. The same parents that have to work on weekends just to make a living. I think this man has forgotten that being a woman in America is living in constant fear that your basic health care will poof disappear, or that your paycheck might somehow be several dollars smaller than your male coworker. I think he has forgotten that I actually need my education to make my 81 cents to his dollar. It's now third period. I remember freshman year. Our female administrator told the girls in her class we needed to cover up because boys will be boys, and if something were to happen, we would be the ones asking for it. I never grew up thinking those things. Don't blame me, but when I thought about boys, I thought about dinner dates and soulmates, not F-boys who look at me like shark bait. My heart breaks. For every girl growing up in this world, instead of a "how was your day" message, we get a "you up, you wanna come." I'm not an object. Do not assume I belong in your bedroom. I belong in a conference room. We found out later that no one told the boys how to keep their hands to themselves. We're taught we're less important. Through small changes, we don't see it till it blooms on a world that teaches girls to look sexy and get a degree, maybe a little rhinoplasty, but never disagree with misogyny. On a world that never teaches us that our boss might tell us someday to stop giving blowjob eyes. If you want to raise, you better compromise. Show me what is above those thighs. It's now fourth period. One of my female classmates asked me how I can expect respect when I'm not dressed like I deserve any. Like 1/4 inch of my stomach makes a difference. Like she isn't used to being objectified, being treated like less than an emotional counterpart. Like she knows what equality feels like because none of us women do. Because equality is not just about calling someone out. Equality is about accountability. Equality is that my brother knows that I am equal to him, because equality is education. From courtrooms to classrooms to conference rooms to living rooms. It's movements. It's breaking through that silence that exists, because silence can only exist if you tolerate it. So stop tolerating it. It's now fifth period. I can't seem to forget about this, and for anyone who thinks that the girls in this generation are so vain, it's because we're held under a microscope on a day-to-day. It's like beautiful doesn't exist unless you can check everything off this huge checklist. Big butt, big boobs, skinny waist, includes small nose, plump lips, bunny hips, hairless, careless, but still has awareness. In all fairness, I want to be seen as beautiful too. I mean, I don't want to be the mean. I'm just a girl who's just 15. And maybe it's symbolism, but there are women in my life who don't know that light radiates from the very palm of their hands. That they're the ones changing the future and clearing the path for every woman and every man, and that's why us women have the power in our hands. We can no longer just sit back and nod and smile while certain people reconcile the rules of being fertile. I am sorry, but it's my body, baby, and I might be a young lady, but I was taught to speak out for injustices of every kind. It's now sixth period. I remember the first time I was catcalled. I was 12 years old, walking to my aunt's apartment in my 40th grade school uniform. A man told me the things he would do to my body as I passed him on the streets. My 12-year-old body that I was struggling to feel comfortable with. My 12-year-old body that was still trying to figure out how to wear mascara the right way or how to stuff my brows out, making it too obvious. The moment he misidentified everything was when he forgot that not even 100 years ago I could not vote. Look at what happens when you try to demote the very bodies that gave birth to you. We're used to it all. We're appalled. We're expecting everything from you now. Final bell rings and the rape culture announcement makes its way until the intercoms now. Please remember, students' voice will open your bodies like books. We have given them permission to read even though the only word printed in all of the pages is no. Because that is the truth about being a girl.